أسباب أمور الإيمان.
The attributes of faith or the qualities of Iman core matters related to faith. Our author begins this chapter by citing a verse from the Quran to emphasize the unity of the Quran and the Sunnah. Imam Bukhari, at the beginning of his main chapters, always points to one or more relevant verses.
Burada estaizu billah bismillah. Leysel birran tuvallu vujuhakum qibelel maşrik vel maghrib.
The verse indicates righteousness is not to turn your faces to the east or the west,
ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر.
but true righteousness is belief in Allah, the last day,
والملائكة
the angels,
والكتاب
the book,
والنبيين.
and the prophets. Here some of the fundamental aspects of faith are mentioned. Then the verse continues,
وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل والسائلين وفي الرقاب.
spending from the wealth Allah has granted you upon the following groups: relatives, orphans, the needy, travelers, those who ask, and to free slaves. This is true piety.
وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة.
Also mentioned are performing the prayer, giving zakat,
والموفون بأهدهم
and those who keep their promises.
إذا آهدوا.
When they fulfill their promises,
والصابرين في البأساء والضراء.
in times of hardship and distress, during earthquakes, floods, fires, car accidents, illnesses, contagious diseases, in those moments of difficulty and trial, those who remain patient. These are the attributes of true faith. Patience manifests faith.
الصبر ضياء.
Patience is light.
والصلاة نور.
Prayer is also a light, a reflection of faith. Yes, in the Quran, for the sun, the word diya is used, and for the moon, the word nur. Why? Because the sun is a source of light, while the moon reflects that light.
الصلاة نور.
In the hadith, it is said that prayer is light, a reflection of faith.
الصبر ضياء.
But patience is the true proof of sincere faith.
وحين البأس.
One of the meanings of the word bas is those who remain steadfast during times of hardship and in times of war. Our forefathers translated sabr as sabr-u sebat, meaning endurance and perseverance. Patience does not simply mean submission or bowing one's head. It means not giving up on the path, not deviating from the truth. There is such a thing as passive patience, and there is also active patience. Passive patience is endurance, bearing the difficulty. Active patience is never abandoning truth, faith, or the path of Allah, no matter what. There may be a break, a pause, a difficult interval, but true believers resume from where they left off.
أولئك الذين صدقوا.
Yes, these are the sincere believers.
وأولئك هم المتقون.
These are the ones with true piety.
قد أفلح المؤمنون. الآية. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون.
Imam Bukhari then points to the opening verses of Surah Al-Mu'minun. And it's as if he's saying, you already know the rest. Those whose hearts tremble in their prayers, these are the ones who will truly attain salvation.
قال المؤلف الإمام البخاري رحمه الله حدثنا عبد الله بن محمد.
Our ninth hadith.
قال حدثنا أبو عامر الأقدي قال حدثنا سليمان بن بلال عن عبد الله بن دينار عن أبي صالح عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه.
The companion who narrated the most hadiths from our beloved Prophet. He narrated 5,174 hadiths. Although he was with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, for only about 2.5 years, he became his special student. The vast majority of the hadiths were transmitted by other companions as well. This companion is Abu Huraira. His most well-known name is Abdurrahman ibn Sakhr al-Dawsi. May Allah be pleased with him.
عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الإيمان بضع وستون شعبة.
Faith consists of more than 60 branches.
والحياء شعبة من الإيمان.
Modesty is one of the branches of faith. The fact that faith has more than 60 branches caught the attention of Islamic scholars, and many works called Shu'ab al-Iman were written on this subject. For example, one of these is the book Shu'ab al-Iman by Abu Hatim. Another is Shu'ab al-Iman by al-Halimi. However, the most famous one is the Shu'ab al-Iman, written by Imam al-Bayhaqi. By benefiting from the Quran and Hadiths, scholars discussed what are the principles that demonstrate these 60 plus aspects of faith. The Prophet, peace be upon him, mentioned one of them.
الحياء شعبة من الإيمان.
Modesty is a sign of faith. Shyness is from faith.
الحياء من الإيمان. إن الحياء لا يأتي إلا بخير.
Modesty only brings goodness. Once, a Muslim from Medina was advising another Muslim and told him not to be shy. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, saw this,
دعه.
he said, "Leave him alone, do not interfere."
فإن الحياء لا يأتي إلا بخير.
For modesty only leads to goodness and brings nothing but good. A true believer is modest. He is shy at all times and in all places. His face blushes easily. However, there are two situations where we should not be shy. In a gathering of knowledge, we should not hesitate to ask questions. Being shy or hesitant is not appropriate in a gathering of knowledge. Secondly, if you say, "I was too shy to speak up in court, so I couldn't claim my right," you might lose that right. Those who seek the truth, those who seek knowledge, must not be shy or hesitant. However, our manners should always be modest and respectful. Modesty before Allah, modesty before His Messenger, modesty before scholars, before parents and elders. Modesty and good manners are the marks of a Muslim. Whoever loses modesty, whoever loses manners will gradually lose much more. Here, modesty is described as a sign of faith, a branch of faith. Of course, we are only pointing out a few aspects here. When we say modesty, we refer to the works of Islamic moral teachings. When jurisprudential matters come up, we'll say, you will read the details in the books of Islamic jurisprudence. When historical hadiths are mentioned, we will refer you to Islamic history. But our goal is to convey the main principles using the original words spoken by our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him. You know, the hadiths in Sahih Bukhari should be memorized.
الإيمان بضع وستون شعبة.
Faith has over 60 branches.
والحياء شعبة من الإيمان.
Modesty is one of them.